All right, good early afternoon, everyone. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and wanted to do a quick video from the Game Lab about where things currently are with the development of Glory Days Pro Football game, as well as the version 2 Glory Days Football engine, which will eventually adapt to the college game as well. So wanted to first of all address some things prior to getting into the specifics of this. So Glory Days College Football has been out about a year and a half now and has a couple of seasons released as well as a greatest team set. And I've been very happy with that overall, but some things that I've not really been happy with is the overall flow of the game. I think it's a little clunky, and positives. And again, this is to me containing all the information on the cards for the college game, which I'm a big get as much on the cards guy as you can, and I have a ton of charts weighing you down. That's fine, but in the case of the college football game, I think it also added to some of the clunkiness because the lookups were not quite as quick. And hey, Eric, good to see you, buddy. I'm doing well. How about yourself? And the other thing is, especially hybrid, I think hybrid and quick play mode worked well. And again, my opinion, and it seems to be the general consensus too. But getting into play-by-play mode with the trench control mode got a little bit clunky. So what I wanted to do is get the trench control more in line with Glory Days boxing, where you get the trench control results right off the card based on the star system versus checking ranges on the D6, which again slows things down a little bit. So that is a major change. Another major change, you can see the cards are literally half the size as the college cards. Reason for that is the results have been taken off of the cards with the exception of pass completions and possible sacks and turnovers, and of course kicking and returns, and replaced by player ratings. Another thing that I think will be an asset is the play calling system now is all on each team's card, where first down, second down, third and long, third and intermediate, third and short. And these third down columns also come into play on fourth down situations. But a D20 die tells you right now if it's going to be a run or a pass and who it's going to. So just an example, looking at Pittsburgh, if it's first down and I roll a 19, that is going to be a pass to Harris. All right. And the players now are rated to perform like they do in real life in terms of yardage. So there'll be no adjustment needed. And hey, Phil, welcome and thank you very much. The mechanics there, again, it gets you to play quickly versus looking at a D10 and going to another D10. And it gets you into determining the players a lot quicker. Again, that's been the case in testing thus far. So I do like this as well. So more of an emphasis on player-specific play calling by down and distance. Now, obviously, changing the ratings of the players. And again, like I said, it takes away the adjustments that you needed to do for stalemate in the college game. So the downside, of course, to that is it means we have to add a couple of more charts. Now, the main chart will be the play-by-play chart. And it's got ratings for the players. And there's two basic versions. So for the run game, offense wins trench control, you use this chart and the player's rating. If it's a stalemate or defense wins, you use this column down here. And of course, the stalemate would still be the same player rating. If the defense wins trench control, it goes to the defensive run rating. So that's where you get the differences based on who controls the trenches there. And one other big difference, sometimes the fumble opportunities, I think, were a little bit high in the college game. And we'll talk about picks as well later. So those have been moved to these play-by-play charts as well. But a potential fumble only comes into play when the defense wins trench control. And again, that simulates a big hit. So I think that is going to be an improvement as well and get numbers more in line with what they should be. Conversely, big plays only happen when the offense wins trench control, and that's based off of runs and passes. And that gets us to the other chart. Now, this will be the primary chart, the third chart that you'll need to incorporate. Again, doesn't increase the footprint too much and takes away from what I prefer, but I think overall it will make the game better. And again, it's a single chart. The other chart is the big play chart. And this obviously is not going to be used very much. You really won't have to have it set out as part of your footprint. You can put it to the side, just grab it when you need to make a reference. But again, it determines big plays based on the receiver or running back rating. It also takes the stuff charts, and this comes off the team cards. And this was one thing on the team cards I think was a bit clunky too, the big play results. So that is no longer there. The stuff chart comes to a single game chart as well off of the team cards, and it's based on team defensive ratings. So some teams will have bigger tackles for loss or bigger yardage tackles for loss than the others. And in addition, which I really like, I think will be good overall for the state of the game, is the addition of a big play interception chart. So there's the standard interception return chart on the field chart here. Now you can possibly get a big play result, and you'll see down here on the interception, it's off the screen, but at the bottom of the fumble and kick, block kick, etc., there's a big play chart there. So there's a big play fumble block kick result, and that is based on specific ratings for the defense as well. A big play interception result also based off the defensive rating, which again is indicated on the defensive card here. Defensive big plays, fumble B, interception D on Pittsburgh. And then big play kickoff and punt returns. And finally, something new, a big play coverage return. And this comes into play, and again, it will come off the main return chart on the game board. And you'll see here there's a big play offense, big play cover. And the way this will work is you will use the offensive team's return rating, and basically it means they're going to have a bad result. So for punt returns, this works from the point the punt is fumbled. For kickoff returns, you start at the 15-yard line and apply this negative or positive accordingly. And I also moved fumbles here to reduce the amount of fumble opportunities on special teams, which I think was also a little bit skewed. Hey, Arnold, what's up, buddy? In terms of target, right now I'm very comfortable with the design. I'll do a little bit of beta testing. It will be after the NFL season, obviously, because I want the first release to be the 2023 teams. And I'll be actually out of the country starting next week until the middle of November. So once I get back from that, there'll be plenty of time still in the NFL season. So I'll hit the football game heavy so I can get a release soon after or in the proximity of the Super Bowl. Definitely shooting for early spring there. So those are the additional charts. And again, not super crazy about increasing the footprint, but overall, I don't think it will be that bad. Now, there's going to be some changes on the drive charts. The drive chart, basically all this is the same, and it's compatible college and pro. Hail Mary is the same. Defensive situation is the same. The thing I removed off the drive charts is the trench control ratings, because now that all comes off the cards like the boxing game. And then finally on the game chart, the only changes here are the additions of big plays, which replace the team result on the previous charts, and of course the big play coverage. Now you're asking, and of course I finally found a field that I like that fits versus the square or grid-based system I have on the other chart. Now I want to address this before I get into examples of gameplay. If you ordered the original Glory Days College Football, again, the games are compatible across platform. They absolutely are. And it's not fair, obviously, if you own that game, to have to get new charts. Now, if you get the NFL game, the charts are compatible between both games. ratings reflect the differences between college and pro on the card. So there's no worry there. But if you just like playing the college game when the first college season set comes out, we'll have an option for you to indicate that you own the original game, and you will get the new updated charts for free. And again, it will fit right into everything you have in the original game. And that's only fair if I make a business decision to tweak things and update the version. If you supported the original version, you should get the new components 100% free. So I want to address that so there's no, so there's clarity on what I intend to do there. All right, so that said, we're going to get into an example of a couple of drives of hybrid mode. And again, the hybrid quick play-by-play mode work the exact same as a college game. So we'll go through this slowly and highlight the differences. And again, it's not great. I just think it will flow better. So we'll go Pittsburgh and Jacksonville here, obviously, and we'll say Jacksonville is receiving the kickoff. Special teams ratings, absolutely the same. So on the, they've just been moved on the card up here. So kickoff for Pittsburgh is a C and kickoff return is a B for Jacksonville. Roll the dice, no special teams penalty. And we will have a 6 on, a 9 on the kickoff, my bad. So 9 on a C on the kickoff is going to be down to the 10-yard line, and it will be returned by Jacksonville from there. And again, this works just the same as a college game. 2 on the return on the B is going to be a 22-yard return. So Jacksonville starts 1st and 10 on their own 32. And I'm actually looking for a pawn, a square type pawn, or if I get it reasonably priced, a football pawn to use instead of this to track the yardage. So 1st and 10, and again, using hybrid mode, drive offense and drive defense for Jacksonville. They have a drive offense of 8, and Pittsburgh has a drive defense of 7. And using the same drive charts, that'll be a +1 for Jacksonville. Roll the dice. And 64 is going to be a potentially successful drive for the Jaguars. And roll of 4, and again, taking over from the 32-yard line. It's going to be 5 plays and 39 yards. So from the 32, well, we'll do this first. We'll chalk off the 9 and 20, 30. So that's down to the Jacksonville 30. And then we use, again, the down and distance, same as we do in hybrid mode. Roll of 12, Pittsburgh's drive defense, again, is a 7. So roll of 12 is going to be a 3rd and 1 from the 30-yard line. So now here's where the differences really start to come out. So we're in play-by-play mode, all right? And again, we use the same format as we do for Glory Days boxing with the rush offense, pass offense, rush defense, pass defense, star system coming into play. So the first thing, you can roll all the dice together, obviously, but I'm going to designate a play for 3rd and 1. So 16 in our 3rd and 1 grid, that is actually going to be a pass to Ingram. Now, the same modifiers apply here. So in a 3rd and 1 situation, defense is expecting to run, and it will be -1 to the trench control roll for the offense. Conversely, if it's 3rd and long and a pass is called, it will be +1 to the roll on the trench control. And we'll show you how that works. So we have a pass to Ingram. Now we roll for our trench control, both roll 3s. The Jacksonville roll becomes a 2. That's going to be 2 stars. It would have been 2 stars on a 3 as well. And a 3 on the pass defense for Pittsburgh is 1 star. So Jacksonville wins the offensive trench control. And I'll come back to that after I resolve the play here. All right, so a roll of 2. And again, you look here on the offensive wins, it's going to be complete. Roll of 1, you go to the rating on the play-by-play chart for Ingram. And Ingram is rated as a, Ingram is rated as an M. So on the play-by-play chart, a 1M is going to be a gain of 9 yards, and that's going to be a first down. So down to the 21-yard line. Now, I want to address the trench control. So the way it works, it's exact same as boxing. Whoever has the most stars wins trench control. If the stars are tied, it is a stalemate. So it's, again, that simple. So 1st and 10. And play-by-play mode, Jacksonville from the Pittsburgh 22-yard line. And the play call on 1st and 10, it's going to be another pass for the Jaguars, this time targeting Jones. Trench control result is 4. That's going to be 1 star to no stars. Jacksonville will trench control again. Now 9 is going to be a potential sack. And you'll notice here on the card, if interception or sack chance is not followed by anything or designates incomplete, it's incomplete if they don't get the sack or pick, right? Here, if they do not get the sack because the offense still has control, it is going to be a completion. So sack results work the exact same. Jacksonville's sack rating is 1 to 6. Pittsburgh is 0. So first we will roll, and we'll go ahead and roll the result and come back to check if it was a sack, or we'll follow this through the result, I should say. So if it is a completion, a roll of 6, and again, the receiver there is Jones, who is an M also. So 6M on defensive winning, that is going to be a 10-yard gain. If there's no sack, so 6 or less, it is a sack. And 5, that is instead going to be a sack. Same as in the football game, you roll 2d10, that is an 8-yard loss. 2nd down and 18 for Jacksonville from the 30-yard line. All right, so on 2nd down, Jacksonville, they're going to come out and try and cross things up. It's going to be a run to Etienne, and Etienne is rated an F. Trench control is no stars, 1 star. Pittsburgh wins trench control. Their run defense is rated a 7, and a roll of 7 goes to the J. 7, and they're rated a J. So 7 on the play-by-play chart, and I'll bring that out too. So here's your J column, and roll of 7 there is going to be a 3-yard gain. So that makes it 3rd down and 15 for the Jaguars. And Pittsburgh, again, is going to be expecting a pass here, 3rd and 6 plus, 3rd and long, 10. And on Jacksonville play call grid, that is going to be a pass to Jones again. So 5, again, because it's 3rd and long, it's going to be expected. So the 4 becomes a 5 on the trench control roll, and that's going to be 1 star. 5 for Pittsburgh on the pass defense, 1 star. We have our first stalemate. So you'll go to the stalemate column, and a roll of 3 here on the stalemate column is going to be complete for Jacksonville. And then you go to the receiver, Jones. Again, Jones is an M, 4M on the play-by-play chart. And that is going to be a 6-yard gain. Sorry, so that's going to be well short of the first down to the 21-yard line. So it's going to make it 4th and 9, and Jacksonville is going to try a field goal. So you can see you save some time looking up stuff on the different things. Obviously, you have a chart to go to now, but once you get the ratings committed, that goes fairly quick as well. So same thing works on kicking as it does in the current version of the game. So from the 22 or 21, this is going to be a 38-yard field goal attempt, and Jacksonville kicker 30 to 39 is 0 to 90. Kick is up, no penalty, and that is going to be good. Jacksonville takes a 3-0 lead, and they will be set to kick off to Pittsburgh now. We'll do this. I know halftime of the NFL games is coming to an end, so we'll do one drive for Pittsburgh and wrap this up. And Matt has joined us. Glad to see his team on the table. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Go back to the beginning of the video, and I kind of explain the differences and what to expect with this version of the pro game. All right, so we're going to do a kickoff for Jacksonville. Jacksonville kickoff rating C. Pittsburgh's kickoff return is a C. And no special teams penalty, 0. It's going to be a touchback. So Pittsburgh takes over on the 25. And we'll jump into the simulated portion of the drive. So Pittsburgh, they have a drive. They're not very good throwing the ball, as you'll see from their offensive chart here, comparatively. But the ability to sustain a drive is still pretty good. They are a 6 on drive offense, and drive defense for the Jaguars is a 7, so it'll be -1 on the drive chart. 84 -1, that is going to be a passing big play. So there's a difference here as well, and it's very player specific. Take the 3. Okay, and actually you'll have to roll here on the passing chart. So if it's under any of the ratings here on the passing chart using the 3rd or the 3 and 6 plus column, you'll go to their main receiver. So Johnson is going to get a big play, and he is an H. Take out our big play chart, big play passing chart. And we have H right here. The roll on the big play passing chart is an 8, and that is going to be a D20 plus 40. Roll the D20 again real quick. And that is going to be a 59-yard big play gain. So that's going to be all the way down to the 16. And that will be obviously a 1st and 10, and we'll jump into play-by-play mode from there. So you see a little bit of a difference and potentially more variety too in the big play results because it is player specific. So 1st and 10 in our drive portion, and Pittsburgh, again, run offense, they are pretty solid. They've got 2 stars, 3 ones in a slash, pass not so much. They're going to want to run behind the pads of Najee Harris here, 1st and 10. And the roll is a 13 on 1st and 10, and that is going to be over any of the run results here on the box. So it's going to be a pass to Johnson. And 3, that is, oh, I'm sorry, I should do trench control first. Trench control is going to be a defensive win. Roll of 3 going to the Jacksonville card is still a completion, so they're able to thread the needle there. And then 6, and you've noticed too on the runs, you don't always have to use a second D10, which is another nice thing. In this situation, pass as you will, the first D10 for completion and the other for the result of the catch. So we're going to Johnson, who is rated an H on the play-by-play chart. And again, the defensive 1, so that's the chart you use, the defensive 1 trench control. So 6H, that is going to be a 9-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd down and 1 for the Steelers down to the 7-yard line. Pickett brings them up, and on 2nd down, roll of 5, and that is going to be a run to Najee Harris, who is rated an A. I'm sorry, rated a J, my bad, looking here. These letters, by the way, by their names in the columns work the same way as they do in the college game, or for hybrid, that's how you determine how stats are assigned. So we're not concerned about that here, obviously. All right, Harris rated a J, and trench control result 5 for the Steelers. That's 1 star. 3 for the Jags. That is 1 star for the, I'm sorry, 2 stars for the rush defense. So it's going to be a defensive win. And roll of 2 is going to be within the range on the Jacksonville Jaguars regular chart, which is an I. And then the roll of 9 on the defense wins trench control. So 9I, and that is going to be a 1-yard gain and a potential fumble, and I'll show you. Again, fumbles only come into play when the defense wins trench control. So 1-yard gain, potential fumble. Fumble rating for the Steelers. So we got actually a little bit of everything in this demo, which is pretty cool. 1 to 6, Jacksonville has a 5. So 1-11. It's going to be a turnover inside the red zone. And 11, Jacksonville takes over. We will roll for the fumble recovery. Again, this is new and different. So fumble return is a 4. It's going to be recovered on the spot. Pittsburgh takes over on the 7-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Steelers. So defensive stand there for Pittsburgh. And we'll do one. I know the games again have started, but we'll do one more drive because that was a quick one. So Jacksonville starting from their own 7-yard line after getting a stop. Negating the big play by Pittsburgh, and we'll do simulated portion of the drive again, +1 for Jacksonville. And 50 on the drive chart, that's going to be another successful drive. And 20, that is going to be 3 plays, 58 yards, automatic 1st down. So that's all the way down to the 35-yard line of the Steelers, and they obviously had a big play mixed in there. That's why it is an automatic 1st down. So Jacksonville takes over, play-by-play mode, and a chance to extend their 3-0 lead over Pittsburgh here. Play call, it's going to be a 1st down pass from Trevor Lawrence, and he's looking for Hasty, who is rated a Q. 4s, that is going to be 1 star, and for Pittsburgh, 1 star, a stalemate. And 8 on the completion roll. On the stalemate column here is going to be incomplete, 2nd and 10. 2nd down, Lawrence comes up. And play call on 2nd down is going to be 8. That's going to be Trevor Lawrence taking off on a designed run or scramble. 5s on the trench control for both teams. That also means we have a potential penalty, so we'll resolve that after the result of the play. All right, 5 on Pittsburgh's run defense is 1 star. Jacksonville run offense, 1 star. We've got another stalemate, folks. And 0. And again, with Lawrence, Lawrence is rated, he's actually rated pretty decent. He is a G, so 0 G on the stalemate. And that is going to be a 6-yard gain. So let's see if there is a penalty, first of all. And Jacksonville penalty rating. Again, they're up here on the top of the card. 1 to 8 offensive, 18 to 20. That's going to be an offensive penalty. And we will roll again for the penalty. And that is going to be 14. It's going to be a holding call. So that makes it 2nd and 20 now from the 45. And just like in the college game, when you have a 2nd and behind the stick situation, you automatically go to the 3rd and long chart, or play column column for the play call, I should say. Sorry. All right, so it's going to be 2nd behind the sticks using the 3rd and long column, a roll of 9, and that's going to be a pass attempt to Jones, who's an M. He's been an early favorite of Trevor Lawrence's in this one. Trench control roll for the Jags. That's 2 stars, and 2 stars, yet another stalemate. So teams playing each other even at the line of scrimmage. Stalemate roll of 2 is going to be a completion, though, and to 8, completion to Lawrence, and that is going to be a 4-yard gain. I'm sorry, completion to Jones. So 4-yard gain there. That's still, as Lawrence has to check down, is going to create a 3rd and 16 situation for the Jags. And once again, they get into Pittsburgh territory and unable to capitalize. They're going to need a big play here, and Pittsburgh is expecting the pass. That's going to make that a 6 on the trench control. And the Jaguars, they do indeed come out passing. 15 is going to be a pass attempt to Ingram. It's going to be defensive control and a roll of 1, and Lawrence still might have been able to thread that in. 0 to 3, he does. Gets it in there to Ingram, and Ingram is rated an M. Again, that is not going to help get them the yardage they need, most likely. So 8M, and that is going to be a 4-yard gain. So again, Lawrence has to check down, and the drive stalls. It's going to be 3rd or 4th down and 12 now from the 42. This will be a 59-yard field goal attempt. So for Jacksonville, the max is 53. So if I want to try this, that is going to be 0 to 6 to be good. Probably not feasible. So you know what? They're going to go for it. 4th down and 12. Well, actually, they would probably punt in this situation. So we'll do that. We haven't done a punt yet anyway. So Jacksonville is going to opt to kick here, as that's too long of a field goal. Jacksonville punting is an A, and Pittsburgh's is a B. Now, punting in, I guess, enemy territory, you're going to want to earn or try for the coffin corner. So here you can actually, to deaden the ball, you can take the D20 result and minus that from the punt yardage. That is an optional rule for punting inside opponent's territory. So 4 on the punt, and again, the punt result is an A. That's a 64-yard punt, taking away the 10. That still goes into the end zone touchback for Pittsburgh. They'll take over from the 20. And what the hell, we will do one last drive for the Steelers, and then we'll call it a stream. So I think that's captured pretty much everything you're going to run across and demonstrated the features and differences in the new game. So here we go. -1 on the hybrid portion of the drive and 40. That is barely going to be a successful drive for the Steelers. And roll of 18 from the 20. That's going to be 8 plays, 64 yards. So that's a great drive all the way down to the 16, where we will jump into play-by-play mode. And down and distance situation, a roll of 9. Jacksonville defense rating, again, is a 7. So roll of 9, defense rating of 7. It's going to be a 2nd down and 4 from the Jaguars from that spot. So the playbook is, or for the Steelers, sorry, playbook is open for Pickett and company. 2nd down, and Pickett brings him up, and Pickett is going to take a shot and looking for Warren, who is rated a K. Trench control roll, that's going to be no stars. It's going to be a defensive, I'm sorry. That will still be a defensive win on trench control. So going to the Jacksonville card on passing, that's going to be an incomplete pass, 3rd down and 4. All right, play call comes off the 3rd and medium range. And for the Steelers, a roll of 4. That is most likely going to be, that will be a run, and Pickett is going to, I'm sorry, that's going to be a run to Najee Harris. So trying to pick up the 1st down on the ground. And trench control 6 and 4, no stars, and 1 star defense wins the trench control battle once again. And roll of I. So 5I, and that is going to be still a 6-yard gain. Harris breaks a tackle, and Pittsburgh has a 1st and goal at the 10. So catching Jacksonville off guard there. 1st down for the Steelers, looking to go in and take the lead or at least tie the game. Deuces, we're going to have a potential penalty after this play. So 15 on 1st down, and that is going to be a pass to Johnson, who is rated an M. Deuces on the trench control at 2 stars Jacksonville and 1 star Pitt. Going to be a Jacksonville win of the trenches. And a roll of 6 will be an incomplete pass. So let's check for the penalty, however. 16, no penalty, 2nd down and 10 as Pickett misfires. Pittsburgh would do well to keep this on the ground. 19, but they're going to throw it again. This time it's intended for Warren, who is a K. And another defensive win. 3, however, is going to be a completion, and 0. 0K, that is going to be only a 2-yard gain as Pickett forced to check it down. Going to be 3rd down and 8 for the Steelers. I'm sorry, I looked in the wrong place. That's actually going to be a touchdown. My bad. So K rating on the stalemate passing chart is 15-yarder. That is a 10-yard touchdown pass. Pickett to Johnson, and Pittsburgh goes up. extra point and a possible penalty here. That is good. Penalty is not existent. So Pittsburgh, after both teams have had 2 drives, is up 7-3. And the way the drives will work, again, NFL games, not as many drives as college. Jacksonville's 11, Pittsburgh is 21, or 10, sorry. 21 total drives in the game. That's how you will track them. And in the case of this game, basically 5 drives a quarter, and then the fourth quarter, based on the game situation, will be 6 drives total between the 2 teams. So basically here we are coming towards the end of the first quarter. Pittsburgh leads at 7-3, and that has been an example of Glory Days Pro Football from the Game Lab, currently in development. And again, the engine, I'm pretty happy with the engine, and looking forward to when we get back from Europe, starting to tighten things up a little bit, get some beta testing done, and this will release after the current NFL season. Base game, just like college, will have a list of NFL great teams still to be determined, and then also immediately after that, the 2023 season will be completed as well. So again, just to go over some of the differences and things I think will help. I think adapting the trench control to be more like the boxing game, which I think works fairly well, very well. I think will make the game flow a little bit smoother. You do have the con of additional 2 charts, one of which you'll rely on primarily in play-by-play every play. The other one, which will only come into play occasionally, so it's not going to increase the footprint again too much. Team cards are half the size. And I want to really emphasize the reason for, one of the big reasons for this, besides the overall game flow, is it took me over 2 months to rate a single college season. Obviously, pro isn't going to take that long, but 2 to 3 months to rate and test and get a season out the door. And again, by the time all that was done, it was like 3 months working on a single season, and that's even with occasional help, because everything had to be manually entered on the cards. Incorporating 2 extra charts, which again doesn't increase the footprint too much, takes all of that away, where you can simply go by ratings. The longest or most amount of time that is applied here in the current version of the game is assigning the play calling matrix numbers for the players. And even that takes nowhere near as long. I've got a formula set up for that, so it takes nowhere near as long as it did to populate 3 individual charts on the team cards with results and yardage averages and that type of thing. And again, it also moves the play-by-play or the big play results on the team cards in the initial version. Also took time to do. That's no longer going to be the case, because it's based on individual player rating, and I don't even have to play with that when I'm rating the teams. And then also the passing completion. So overall, I think it's going to be a much smoother gaming experience, even with the extra chart. And the new things added, like the big play coverage possibilities and the big play returns, I think will be an asset to the game as well. So thanks to everyone for stopping by. Eric, Phil Leota, Arnold Hunter, Matt Steeler Fan 1933. Appreciate it. Again, if you're interested in this, hit that thumbs up, please, and subscribe. We will have more news again, and a pending Europe trip coming up, so I'll be quiet for a while. And also want to announce, too, that while I'm out of the country, I'll be back in November, mid-November. Print orders for the Glory Days games will be disabled. And 1, I don't want people to have to wait. And 2, I can't predict how the algorithms is ordering go, and I don't want to add additional wait time when I get back if I'm out of stock. So I'm going to actually order before I leave additional card sets for boxing, and I've already ordered some football stuff. So when I do come back, if there are orders, I'll have a print order ready to pick up too, so there won't be a backlog there. But again, apologize for that inconvenience. Appreciate the support, though, of the games in the channel. Hope everyone has a great Sunday. Now back to the NFL. And hey, Philip joining right here at the end. But yeah, check out the beginning of the video on the Glory Days football pro game and some of the changes and streamlining to the game engine itself. So having a great day. Keep rolling those dice. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and we will talk to you later.